Okay, let's talk about the late-breaking story involving Padre ownership. Sportico, the business sports website, broke a story a couple hours ago. A 91-page lawsuit has been filed by the widow of Peter Seidler against two of the Seidler brothers. He has charged Matt and Bob Seidler have illegally purchased low-price shares of the Seidler Trust to take over control of the trust. The trust runs the Padre franchise. The two brothers want to become the control people, indicating that the widow has no business experience at all and is not qualified to, quote, be the point person to represent the franchise in all MLB business decisions. She filed a 91-page lawsuit asking for an injunction in the state of Texas. She also, this morning, wrote a 5-paragraph letter to Padres season ticket holders explaining why she felt she had to do this at this point in time. Now, just last month, John Seidler was named the point person. He is not named in this lawsuit. Two other brothers are. She's alleged they did illicit things to get stock purchases to take over majority control of the trust, which controls the Padre baseball franchise. This is a really ugly situation. And by the way, this is a franchise that's done nothing in terms of off-season expenditures, have not spent $1 on any free agent players. Now, that being said, I've been told the Padres have gone back, talked to Jurickson Profar, and are willing to offer him 1 year and a second-year option with a pay bump. But they're not going to go from 1.5 to $15 million that Scott Boras wants. They're willing to go 1.5 to 8 with an option, which sounds feasible to me.
Yeah.
If the Padres can afford an $8 million deal. The Padres evidently are still talking to Hye-seong Kim about possibly re-signing, though they don't know that he'll be ready to play till June 1st. They're evidently interested in a lower price first-year deal. He was supposed to earn 8. They might go to 6 with the first year, with an option for a big pay bump the second year if he has a big bounce back season coming off the labrum surgery. Third item, can you catch? They need a catcher.
Mm-hmm.
I was told they're looking. I don't know that they're going to do this. They're looking at Dodger catcher Diego Cartaya. This guy was a red-hot prospect. Got injured 2 years ago at Double-A. Took him a while to get healthy. Came back, played last year, Double-A into Triple-A. Did not hit worth a lick. The Dodgers just DFA'd him, which means he's on the open market for 10 days. Somebody can claim him. Dodgers either have to trade him or have to release him over the next 10 days. I was told the Padres are doing their, quote, due diligence to see why this number one prospect hit 228 1 year and hit 208 last year in AAA. And is he the right guy if they're searching for another catcher? And the final story that just broke, the Padres have reopened trade talks for Luis Arraez to the Yankees. And it's evident to me the Padres have to move a named player with a big price tag next to his name to get him off the payroll. And the Padres evidently are not interested in going arbitration with Arraez. The price tag is $14.6 million for a three-time Major League hitting champion. They're not going to pay that for a singles hitter who can't run and doesn't play much defense and has no power. The Yankees evidently are interested in Arraez as a second baseman with insurance policy, maybe to also be a first baseman in behind Paul Goldschmidt, whom they got. Padres are asking for one of the Yankee young pitchers if they make the Arraez deal. So there's an awful lot there as it relates to the Friars. Couple of other baseball notes. Angels have opened talks with Peter Alonso of the New York Mets, power hitting first baseman. Angels are willing, I was told, to go 3 years. Now, Alonso doesn't hit for average. Alonso's an emotional leader. He's hit 226 home runs. 3-year deal. He's won 5. Even the Mets haven't given him 5. They've talked to Alonso, and they've talked a 3-year deal to Oriole power hitter Anthony Santander. Now, Alonso's hit 226 home runs over the course of his career. Santander's hit 155. The problem is Santander wants a 5-year deal. Toronto is evidently willing to go 3. I think the Angels are willing to go 3 there. And one other Angel note. You remember the terrible death of Tyler Skaggs?
Yeah.
The drug overdose death, the conviction of their public relations director who was selling drugs to players within the organization. A judge in the lawsuit of the Tyler Skaggs family, they are suing Artie Moreno and other administrators. A judge has just cited Artie Moreno for failing to turn over, quote, discovery for all the lawyers. They wanted emails, they wanted text messages from all these cell phones. They've petitioned 77 different Angel employees. They want their media devices to see what was said back and forth between executives about Eric Kay, who's doing 22 years in prison for dealing drugs that killed Tyler Skaggs. So Artie Moreno's, he's got a real big problem off the field because now the judge has said, you failed to cooperate. Is Artie going to get found in contempt of court on that situation? So that's all things there. And for the Dodgers, the Dodgers situation, where are we going? Looking for more help. The Dodgers won the bidding war to get Hye-seong Kim, not the Padres shortstop. This is a star Gold Glove second baseman who came from Korea. He just signed a 3-year contract with 2 option years after that to go to the Dodgers. He's a lifetime 304 hitter, 4-time Gold Glove guy. He might be the starting second baseman for the Dodgers in place of Gavin Lux. He can also play short, and he could be an insurance policy guy at third. His signing kind of came out of nowhere because a lot of people thought he was going back to Japan, but the Dodgers got him dirt cheap. They got him for $4 million a year for the next 3 years with the options after that. So the Dodgers have been pretty active there. So, John, there's a ton of stuff there. If you want to talk about the Padres, talk about the Angels, talk about the Dodgers. I told you my notebook was really full today.
That was an unbelievable amount of stuff right there. So let's talk about the Padres. The big news is with the Seidler family and all of this drama. You know, we thought the drama was solved. We thought when Seidler took control, as the Seidler family was going to be in charge of this for generations. And why wasn't there a plan laid out in front? You know, why wasn't there like a will or something that clearly legally says who's the next person in charge?
I concur with you wholeheartedly. Now, I'm going to give you a different reaction, though. The point person that represents the Padres on every type of transaction at the Major League Baseball level, that's TV contracts, that's rule changes, that's anything that comes out of the commissioner's office, there needs to be a person. Should that person, though, not have a lot of business experience, rather than Sheel Seidler, who's got absolutely no business experience at all? So do the brothers have a right to question why she's the point person or wants to be the point person? Or do the brothers do something illegally to buy up all the stock from minority holders in the trust to actually get control of the trust? You tell me.
Well, I mean, it shouldn't be. I mean, this isn't a matter of legality, I don't think. I mean, if Sheel Seidler was given the rights to the team as part of her, marriage relationship with Peter Seidler, then she should have that. But I remember Ron Fowler was always the guy that would go to those MLB meetings, and obviously he's now taking a lower position. Why can't Sheel Seidler still be the number one, and then she can have the brothers there as her wingmen that all would take various levels of responsibility? They could work this out. It shouldn't be this much drama.
Now, the point person has to be the biggest majority owner of stock in the franchise.
Oh, wow.
She can't sublet the decision-making to somebody else. Go to the meetings on my behalf. That doesn't work that way.
Well, then she should go to the meetings. I mean, she can make business decisions. I mean, I don't know what her background is, but she's been involved in this for a while. She's got people that will advise her. She probably knows what's on the agenda for these meetings. So I don't know. I'm really concerned because we're already worried about how much payroll the Padres can spend or not spend. This just creates more turmoil around that.
Okay, quick response to the Angels. I kept saying, if Artie Moreno wanted to do something with established name players, he'd get his credibility back pretty quickly. I mean, if you go get Santander or Peter Alonso, that's a real positive. He tried hard to get Arenado, but he said the Cardinals got to pay a piece of the $64 million that Arenado is still owed. St. Louis has said no. And Arte Moreno said, I'm not sending you Reed Detmers and somebody else just for Arenado. You got to pick up some of the price tag there. So would that be a positive move if they got the polar bear, Pete Alonso, to come from the Mets to play for the Halos?
I think it'd be great. I mean, it's nice to see them going after some name players, and they're not just basically blowing their money just to get some guy with some credibility. I mean, Alonso is a big time power hitter. Santander is a rising star. I mean, it'd be great to see them do that. But do you think the timing is interesting right around this potential lawsuit around Tyler Skaggs? Do you think this is a way to put some positive PR around it to say, hey, we're going for players now. We're actually going to spend money now?
No, not really, because I've already signed 7 or 8 guys, plug-in guys, the Kyle Hendricks, the Travis d'Arnaud's of the world. It's not like they've done nothing. I don't think one has anything to do with the other. Alonso is part of the second tier of free agents and had to wait till Juan Soto signed his contract, and Bregman is still not signed, and he may not, Pete Alonso may not sign till Bregman commits. I hear Bregman has reopened talks with the Boston Red Sox immediately. So I think once Bregman comes off the board, then Alonso is in the pecking order, probably is the next guy to go, and he'll have Bregman's dollar value to negotiate off of. What do you think about this whole Moreno discovery lawsuit?
Yeah, this is with the drug situation.
Skaggs.
Well, what wasn't the guy that's in jail was he like a strength and conditioning coach?
No, he was a public relations director.
A public relations director.
And he had a drug addiction himself, which the Angels knew, and the Angels got him into rehab. The Skaggs family is saying the Angels should have known that this guy was continuing to deal, and the Angels said they had no knowledge.
Well, if you got a drug dealer on the payroll, you got to fire the guy. I mean, come on, right? I mean, it's one thing, Arte Moreno wants to do the right thing for the Skaggs family, but you got to clean up your business in your front office if you got this kind of nonsense going around. And was it opioids or what was the drug? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was all types of opioids, and he was dealing it to Tyler Skaggs, and Skaggs got addicted to painkillers, and he wound up dying because of, I guess, it was fentanyl.
Yeah.
But why would Moreno and his people, his president Dennis Kuhl at that time, why would that, because of discovery, why would they not turn over the data? Isn't that mandated?
Okay. It's funny is you're criticizing the Padres for possibly having Sheel Seidler, but doesn't have any business experience. They have Arte Moreno with all the business experience making bad business decisions. This reminds me of the Gruden thing, with the emails and everything. You have to be transparent. The minute you try to cloak information, it creates a negative look, and it's gonna come back to bite them in the butt. You got to come out forward with everything.
And what's your take on the Dodgers and Hye-seong Kim, the Korean Gold Glove second baseman?
Yeah, this is going to send all of us into a tizzy with Hye-seong Kim and Hacksaw Kim and everything else.
And they're not related,
but you get him, and now suddenly Gavin Lux is expendable.
Yep.
So they got some decisions to make there. But I think the catcher, what was it, Cartaya? Was
yes.
it? I think this might be an example of how that 40-man roster just got too full. And they have to start shedding some guys because they've signed so many people in LA. It's unbelievable. So, yeah, I mean, you look at now, the other angle to this is that the Dodgers are doubling and tripling down as the Pacific Rim team.
No doubt about it. So we're only into January. Now, granted, we got 6 weeks before pitchers and catchers report to the Cactus League and the Grapefruit Circuit. Man, there's a ton of baseball out there. So the fans forum chat box is open. We invite first timers to jump on board. You got an opinion? How concerned are you about the Seidler civil war in the ownership box? You want to talk about what the Angels should do, haven't done, and this whole Moreno situation? Looking for Dodger Blue fans to feel free to pile in, pile on. Go ahead, you could flash us your World Series ring. You earned it. You deserve it. So be it. Hey, we get to halftime.